and I recently attended the Team KNK Top Truck Challenge 6. It is the 6th year that they have did this event. The 5th year I have attended, only missing the first one, and each year this event gets bigger and bigger. K&K prides themselves on family fun competition, and it really shows with these events. I mean, this year they brought in right around 700 trucks, I believe I heard registered. So that's between all of the different events that went on. The K&K, the Top Truck Challenge 6, runs Sorka light rules, which are, they run Class 0, Class 1, Class 2, which is basically a box stock class, Class 2.5, which if you're familiar with regular Sorka, it's basically Sorka's Class 2. They run Class 3, and then they also had a construction demo there. They did semi-parade. People were driving around with semis, the RC semis. That was really cool. They did a semi-parade where there was multiple RC semis that kind of drove around the property. That was really cool to see. They did a construction demo. There was a guy that drove all the way from Florida. It was really cool. He had one of the large dump trucks, and it is so big. The pictures don't do it justice until you see a full-size grown adult sitting in this thing and riding around. And him and his daughter were driving around the property. It was definitely an entertaining sight. Some of the cool things that happen at K&K outside of the whole competition itself is there's a little playground that they have for the tiny trucks. So it's not really, it's more of a test course. They had 2 monster truck tires or tractor tires and all rocks surrounding it, a nice sized log, and there was this platform that went from one tire to the other, and then it had this PVC pipe slide that you could drive your truck onto and slide down. It was really just a fun time. That was more for fun, more for testing. So there's multiple events during these days, and so there's a set schedule on what class is where. So one class will be doing one course while another class is doing another course, and basically there's multiple small events that go on to create this one big Top Truck Challenge. So you have your obstacle course, which is the main course. I don't know exactly how many gates there are on the course, but I know it's more than your standard 10-gate course at a normal Sorka event. Then you have your Rubicon Trail, which the way that these smaller events are run, the smaller courses are run, is basically you start with 20 points, and once you reach the end, you get 0 points by the time you reach the end. So you have to go through a set of gates in order to progress to get the lowest score possible. So with the Rubicon Trail, what makes that challenging is you cannot take a reverse and you cannot use your winch. So if you have to use either one of those, or if you hit a gate, then your run is done, and wherever you sit is however much points you get for that event. So then moving on, there's also the hill climb, which is done very similar. The gates are placed in a set fashion, and depending on the class, depends on how difficult the hill is. Class 1 was a little bit more technical with tighter turns. Class 2.5 and Class 3 were kind of more based on a little bit steeper climbs rather than tighter turning technicalities. After you run the Rubicon Trail, the hill climb, the last day, Sunday, they run all classes through the mud pit. Mud pit is exactly what it sounds. It is, I don't know the length, but I'd say a good 50 to 60 feet worth of just mud. And it's, the deeper you go, the further you go, the deeper it gets, the muddier it gets, and there's a lot of good times to be had. As you can see, most of my trucks I still haven't cleaned yet. At some point they have a little cement slab specifically for doing tug of wars and stuff. So it was really fun to watch the tug of wars for a little bit. Trucks kind of battling each other. There was one truck driving around that was an 8x8. People kept trying to beat that and pull that, and they couldn't. They struggled. And then there was a TRX4 driving around on tracks, and that was, I watched people try to pull that around for a while. Almost the thing on tracks won almost every time. In the end, for class 1, I took 4th. They do a plaque for the top 10, and for the top 5 of class 1, they actually there was actually a tie. So the 5 of us all got the same score, and it came down to time at that point. So that put me into 4th. I'll take it. I had a good time. It was definitely worth it. So at this event, there's a ton of vendors that come out, a ton of sponsors that sponsor it. The amount of prizes that they gave away was insane. The pile of stuff that they gave away on top of the pile of trucks that they gave away was crazy. They ended up giving away one of the new Element RC trucks and one of the kits. Tamiya was a sponsor and donated a couple trucks. This Scale Garage, my wife actually ended up winning, and we actually had to have one of our other Michigan friends deliver it in from his trailer, or deliver it with his trailer, and it was such an awesome event to see everybody out there, to see people from multiple states. There was even some people from Canada, so you got multiple countries. I mean, it is one of the biggest events out there for the crawlers, and I highly suggest checking it out. Even if you have to change jobs, do whatever you have to try and attend this event next year. I highly suggest it. You won't be disappointed. So there is my recap on this event. Look forward to more, as in a couple weeks I'll be going to Crawlers for Kids. That's over there in Muskegon, put on by Brooklyn RC Bashers. They're some of the ones that are putting it on, and that's another really good event. I've been to the last 3, and I highly suggest checking that out. And yeah, tiny truck on, guys.